Welcome to Alexa's Tech Room. Good concept but flawed execution in the firmware and software wait for a Rev 2 unit, and only after lots of reviews are in. ReelSonar Wireless Bluetooth Smart Fish Finder. The item is sold by ReelSonar. Product linked in the description below. Make sure this fits by entering your model number. ReelSonar Portable Fish Finder is easy to use with a depth range of 135 feet and stable GPS accuracy, rechargeable battery life of 10 hours EOS, and Android apps Bluetooth fish finder with sonar. Sonar signals that are integrated find and reflect visual images of both static and moving objects beneath the water's surface. Depth-tagged fish icons color-coded by size, to be alerted when fish congregate under docks, and piers turn on the fish alarm when using a bobber's fish finder feature. With the strike alert, a bobber can even let you know when fish are biting. With a fish finder, you may go out anytime you choose to test the waters, regardless of the weather, whether it be freshwater or saltwater, shore fishing or fishing on the ice. You could turn on your fish finder and begin hunting. Great gift for fishing, whether you're looking for a present for your husband, father, friends, or any angler. ReelSonar Fish Detector is now better than ever. 4.0 out of 5 stars. This product has a total of 5,767 reviews. Product linked in the description below. The first review is from Begoyle. Good concept but flawed execution in the firmware and software wait for a Rev 2 unit, and only after lots of reviews are in. 3.0 out of 5 stars. First off, we wish there were other reviews before we bought our 2 units, as my experience is basically the same as others. That is, the unit will work in a limited set of conditions to determine water depth. The unit attached easily to a small brass-type snap swivel, but not to the heavier stainless steel types I favor and would be more secure. I used a 6.5 medium action rod with 20-pound test. No way I was going to lose this to a weed, but its buoyant nature keeps it from getting hung up. It was very easy to cast and retrieve across a medium-sized stream, and the first time we tried it, it sensed with my 4s with no problems. It would report when it was out of water, a bobber out of water, and its depth readings seemed accurate enough, though it's limited to 3.5 feet it seems as a minimum. We cast it about 5 or 6 times at a variety of spots to play with the settings, check the consistency of readings, turn on the blinker, check the water temperature probably within a few degrees of being correct, and then stored it back in its sleeve in the tackle box. The battery still read 100 even after 30 minutes of toying around with it. We know there are fish in this creek, saw some on the surface, and have taken out 3-pound cats, but nothing on the fish sonar screen. Also note to self that 3.5 in iPhone screen in direct sun, not good way to visualize the readings. Next challenge was a 5-acre stocked lake that we went to the next day. We rigged up and put the bobber in the water to turn it back on, but no joy. As a toy it's great when you aren't catching fish, but at 100 there should be more than that. It would not sync with either my iPhone or Nexus 7, which is a much better size to use with this product. Returning back to the house, we tried every tip we could find, finally placing it back in its charger overnight. And that solved the problem, except that it was supposed to retain its charge when out of the water, thus ended the life of Unit 1, and Amazon took it back. We got Unit 2 a few days later and tried it out extensively in the house first, in both cold water and warm water baths. It's amazing how many fish this thing will find when it's in a cup of ice. This second unit would reconnect over a day's time period, so we set out for a large power plant lake to compare it with a low-end hummingbird fish finder on our boat. First thing you notice is that while it worked fine in calm water, dragging it behind a boat, even at trolling speeds, just makes the unit unreliable. It could match the depth readings of the boat's unit fine 1 second, then the next be finding fish at 72 or 36 or 8 fall in an 18th cove. We stopped the boat more than once to fish for some of these phantoms before we gave up and stayed with the built-in unit. We did tie up next to some trees in calmer water to do some head. The abobber would go from fish to its weed symbols alternately, and we kind of lost faith in it. Summary, pros are it's a great concept, looks and feels sturdy and nice graphics. On a larger screen, easy to cast, and lots of neat features like the fish finder alert. We did put some small hooks on the back end of the unit and turned the strike alarm on, but even the smallest movement would trigger it, so we turned it off and decided it wasn't ready for the boat and the big lakes just yet. We tried another lake that was known to be full of fish and fished the crappy barn at Lake Somerville. Here the finder seemed to work well inside the fish barn and in very quiet water. It showed all sorts of fish that could have been fish or weeds, since we were fishing over some sunken trees, but nothing was biting except small bass at the surface. We took it out to the back cove and put it on fish finder mode, since if one is constantly staring at the screen, one is not seriously fishing, and we found this to be the best mode for using it. Also, all the other fishermen liked playing with it as well, but after only 5 hours of fishing, the battery indicator went from 100 to 70 to 30 back to 35 to 0 and just died. So if you want to use it in fish finder alarm mode, you need to seriously downrate the expected time you might get from it. But unlike the Hummer on the boat, this will not last a full day of fishing yet. Our last experiment was to take it back to the first shallow lake freshly charged. It worked fine casting from shore, and we could get about 50 feet out every time, farther than we could bait cast into the breeze. Cheaper than the competition. While this unit seemed to work better, its abobber out of water alarm never worked like the first unit, and we conclude there may be some deeper issues in the manufacturing side. We'll test out this third unit and update review accordingly. February 2015. Cons are poor battery management, software implementation, and inconsistent sensing. Hint: bring the USB charger and portable 5 batter in your tackle box if you really want the best performance. This review covers 2 separate units. The first we bought and returned to Amazon, the second from Walmart. We tried a second one as the first one had such awful problems with connecting we couldn't believe it was systemic. Turns out the second worked a bit better in some areas, but IMHO the product still needs some work and better software. For example, when using it to map a cast, it shows the farthest deepest part of the map as 0 on the scale and the nearest to shore as the farthest on the graph. Very non-intuitive. You want to know the distance a hole or bump object might be and fish to avoid it. Can't do it directly from the displayed scale. Unit 1 was purchased after New Year's and tried in both a fresh moving stream and shallow water lake in Texas. It's warm enough to fish down here year-round. From the manufacturer, Abobber Pulse Wireless Fish Finder, great tackle box addition for all types of anglers and styles of fishing. The only portable fish finder, fish attractor, and app you can bring with you wherever you fish. The original Abobber was designed with portability and flexibility in mind, and Abobber Pulse with fish siren is no different. Map contours of the lake bottom, find fish, foliage, or structure ledges and holes where your newest PB might be lurking. You can GPS mark spots, laydowns, trees that have fallen, weed beds, drop-offs, and other underwater structure where fish might be laying in wait to ambush baitfish. And now you can call them to you too. Dock and pier fishing. For fishing from docks or piers, Abobber is great addition to your tackle box. Having the advantage over other anglers who don't know where the fish are or where they might be hiding can make all the difference. In both salt and freshwater, just cast Abobber and connect to map the waterbed 135 down, tag fish, and mark your GPS location. With more and better knowledge, you'll catch more and larger fish every timer. At least learn what you need to improve. Use Abobber's Fish Finder feature with the fish alarm on to warn you when fish gather under docks and piers. A bobber can even notify you when fish are biting with the strike alarm. Kayak and sub-fishing. The fastest growing segment in the fishing industry is now portable watercraft fishing, and for good reason. No matter the skill level and type, necessary conservation efforts now mean that many great fishing waterways don't allow powerboats. Fortunately, human-powered crafts are no longer limiting weather fishing in saltwater. There's something primal about getting closer to nature and your targets, and doing battle with a big fish from a small boat. The bobber makes for a perfect kayak accessory as a fish and depth finder that doesn't require permanent installation and allows ice fishing and night fishing. If your favorite angler loves ice fishing, consider a bobber a great Christmas holiday season gift idea. Even when it's cold out, the recipient will be able to go out and use it immediately to find out if there's fishes. The bobber and app are ideal tools for ice fishing. It is lightweight, portable, and the fish and bite alarms let you know when fish are around and when they bite. Even when everything is white or you can't see a thing, a bobber lets you use its trip log to save the GPS location of your favorite spots, water temps and depths, and species caught. A bobber waterproof fish scale, a bobber multi-tool pliers, a bobber robotic lure weighs up to 99.40 avec corrosion-resistant stainless steel spring-loaded naturalistic lifelike design, bright digital display, needle nose pliers with 4 long jaws, rechargeable battery with charger, 39 in built-in tape measure, folding serrated knife. Fishermen and women can mark and call fish, map depth contours and underwater structure, GPS tag, catch location, save fish species, water temp photos and hotspots in the trip log, and choose to share on social media directly through the bobber app if desired. For both the bobber Classic and Pulse, the free bobber app syncs your devices via Bluetooth Smart to a bobber, so you can map waterbeds, mark spots, log water temps and depth, add lures, species, and photos in the trip log. Fishing gifts. Do you have an angler or outdoors lover in the family for whom you'd like to buy some fishing gear for but don't know what to get? In any of these cases, we have a great solution for you. A bobber Pulse with fish siren is a portable, castable, wireless fish finder with a built-in fish attractor. Fish siren Pulse is to attract more fish, rechargeable battery with 10 hours battery life, Bluetooth Smart sync up to a distance of 100 ReelSonar, and fish tagging views, waterbed and structure contour mapping, GPS spot tagging with interactive map, weather temp, rain, wind, barometer, fish and strike alarms. A bobber helps you find fish faster. No matter. We know catching more fish from shore requires some preparation, and knowing if you should stay is paramount. A bobber is the smallest, most portable fish finder on the market and can be cast and connected at up to 100 away. Product linked in the description below. Our first question is from John W. Allen. Anyone compare the bobber to the very similar but twice more expensive deeper portable fish finder? Yes. I had the deeper first, but lost the device in a rainstorm. I had the deeper first, but lost the device in a rainstorm. The deeper shows 4 different sizes of fish along with several types of fish alarms. Both offer a 15-minute sonar scan replay. Please note that both sonar bobbers require sensing upon each and every use, as the sonar bobbers only turn on when in the water or charging. The deeper has quicker sensing time than that of the bobber. If I had to buy another sonar ball, I might first look at the sonar scanners available in RC boat package. The RC option seems much easier to get the sonar scans where you want them, and less water noise when casting your sonar bobbers out. If I had to get another sonar bobber, I would recommend the deeper. Does this justify deepers? Cost of roughly twice the bobber. What the bobber brings to the table is simple, easy to use scanning. The deeper offers much more than the bobber in regards to hardware and software. See less. I decided to get the bobber as a replacement to the deeper. The deeper's hardware and software is much more detailed than the bobbers. The Deeper's hardware and software is much more detailed than the Abobber's. The Abobber's only has a 90-degree scan, as opposed to the Deeper's 90-degree and 120-degree scans. The Abobber's only has a 90-degree scan, as opposed to the Deeper's 90-degree and 120-degree scans. The Deeper shows see more yes. Product linked in the description below. For more content like this, please subscribe and click the bell icon so you are notified of new uploads. We upload new videos every day. See you next time.